Arkansas streaming news leader. This is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us here on THV 11 Plus. Hope your day's off to a great start as you get your coffee, get your breakfast, head on to work or school this morning.
That's a morning right there. And how's traffic going?
Traffic is going okay. It's just a little bit foggy this morning. That is something that could definitely impact your drive. Of course, Tracy will have details on what's up with this fog. It's patchy. So, you know, 1 second we're looking at patchy. 1 second we're looking at the fog.
It's the only beard I can grow.
It's moving around a little bit. It's not your fault. Patchy Fog. It's a band name.
That is a good band name.
It is a good band name.
That's like a 2005 emo band.
Now we just need a band.
To.
I agree on the emo.
I like that. All right, this is what's happening right now. You can see that we don't have any accidents right now, but we do have some slowdowns to talk about. North Terminal Interchange, you can see we have the red there and some red there around Alexander 2 on 30 eastbound. So just our typical slowdowns for our morning commute. And of course, that's slowing things down. Here, if you're coming in from Conway, it looks okay. Really, Conway is always the well-behaved child. We have 3 children up on this screen. Usually the middle child, Benton, is a big slowdown there. But things are looking pretty good right now. It is early though. It's just now 7:01. So I'm sure we'll start to see more slowdowns here in the 7 o'clock hours. We get closer to 8. But Tracy, so far so good. Are you going to tell us about Patchy Fog and their latest hit?
Tell you about the latest hit from Patchy Fog. It's all over the state for sure. Everyone is listening to it. I'm going ahead and showing you here in the camera that Ashley was showing you. We are seeing a little bit of patchy fog. I wanted to show you this because it looks okay. It doesn't look too bad. But as we are heading into Central Arkansas at the airport, it's down to 2.5 miles. So when she talks about patchy, that's what she means. Again, Searcy down to 3, but it's along this corridor of Interstate 30 there for the most part. So take your time this morning as you are heading out. And if you think it's colder out there, you're right. It is 6 degrees colder. We are seeing again some temperatures certainly below freezing out there, including Central Arkansas. 29 for Searcy, 30 for Little Rock, 29 for Russellville, and some warmer temperatures to our south. So again, starting to see that wind chill really kick in. It feels like 22 degrees. We got a little wind out there. It looks like Pine Bluff is feeling like 28 and Russellville 29, and Hot Springs all kinds of warm there at 34. Looking for today hour by hour some winds. Now we will start to see a little sunshine here before long, I promise. We're going to get these clouds and all this fog out of the way, and that southwesterly breeze is going to warm us up today to the mid 50s. Yeah, that's going to be nice, right? Some gusts around 20 to 25. Those windy conditions will carry over into Wednesday as well, and we're looking for a high right around 60. Keeping warm one more day there on Thursday, and we're going to start to see some changes on Friday and some cooler weather headed our way.
Well, this morning we are learning more about the neo-Nazi group known as Blood Tribe that marched through Little Rock over the weekend.
The march taking place at 2 of the city's most symbolic locations, leaving many people feeling frustrated and even unsafe.
THV 11's Tamer Knight joins us with how this happened and what city leaders and the community are now saying. Tamer?
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. The demonstration caught many off guard and raised questions about how a neo-Nazi group could gather and march without any formal permission. THV 11 looked into what the law allows and how both city officials and community leaders are responding. This past Saturday, a mass neo-Nazi group gathered here in Little Rock, first marching around the state capitol and later in front of Little Rock Central High School. A small group of just over 20 supremacists could be seen walking in formation, leaving many in the city questioning their safety. Others say the group in front of Central High, a national civil rights landmark, was especially disturbing.
Nobody wants to know that Nazis are coming to their town.
We cannot continue to cause this division. We cannot continue to promote hate.
THV 11 reached out to Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' office in regards to the incident. They gave us this statement saying, in part, racism has no place in Arkansas, and I condemn this vile protest. Now, THV 11 has confirmed that the Blood Tribe group did not have a permit with the city or with Capitol Police. But by law, as long as they remained on the sidewalks and kept moving, a permit wasn't legally required. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
All right, Tamer, thank you for that update.
In the meantime, a judge is reviewing evidence today in the case against Luigi Mangione. He's the suspect accused of killing healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Prosecutors releasing new images showing what they say investigators found when Mangione was arrested after a days-long manhunt a year ago today. Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
Luigi Mangione was back in a New York City courtroom Monday as attorneys argued over whether evidence can be used in his upcoming murder trial. He's accused of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a Manhattan sidewalk last December. It was 1 year ago that Mangione was arrested in a Pennsylvania McDonald's after a multi-day manhunt when people recognized him and called 911.
I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, that he looked like the CEO shooter.
For the first time, prosecutors are releasing images of what they say was found with Mangione during the arrest, including a 3D printed gun, silencer, bullets, and pages from a notebook that appear to show plans for a getaway and ways to stay undetected. In court, a police officer testified that they searched Mangione's belongings only after he was under arrest and wanted to make sure he didn't have a bomb. But Mangione's attorneys argue police should have had a search warrant and say he wasn't read his Miranda rights before he was questioned. They want the evidence excluded from the state trial.
If the police officers legitimately and in good faith believe that there's a substantial risk to themselves or the general public, they have every right, every constitutional right to go into that backpack and conduct a warrantless search.
During the confrontation, officers can be heard on tape discussing whether or not they need a search warrant to look through the items. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all charges. He is also facing federal charges where prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Police in Pennsylvania testified Monday that Mangione handed over a fake ID during his arrest, and investigators say that same alias was used by the suspected shooter at a Manhattan hostel just before the attack.
The economy is front and center today as the president visits Pennsylvania to address the issue, a day after rolling out a $12 billion farm aid package tied to the U.S.-China tariff war. The White House says farmers can apply soon, with payments expected late February, funded by tariff revenue. President also backing off comments about releasing video from a September strike on a Venezuelan drug boat that killed 2 survivors, now leaving that call to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Whatever Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
He now says it's under review. Are you ordering the secretary to release that full video?
Whatever he decides is okay with me.
CBS News reports Hegseth, General Dan Kane, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will brief 8 top lawmakers later today. Also, President Trump continues pushing a Russia-Ukraine peace plan, though provisions calling for Ukraine to cede land to Russia remain a major hurdle.
Arkansas leaders say the state must cut its SNAP error rate, now at 7%, or taxpayers could be forced to cover part of food benefit costs for the first time in the program's history. A new federal law ties future state costs to how often SNAP benefits are miscalculated, with penalties kicking in 2028 for states above a 6% error rate. So we're close. According to the Arkansas Advocate, DHS officials say Arkansas has improved from nearly 10% last year and is working with other states to fix agency mistakes, which make up most of the errors. More than 220,000 Arkansans rely on SNAP, and officials warn any penalties could cost the state millions.
Levi Hospital is pressing ahead with its move to become a community health foundation. The hospital announcing this summer it would end patient care on August 1st as it shifts its focus to behavioral health and the social factors that shape wellness. Leaders say aging infrastructure and mounting repair costs push for the change. The board has now voted to tear down the 100-year-old building, arguing upkeep would drain money better spent on grants and community programs. Demolition is expected to start this spring. Also, a downtown Little Rock high-rise getting some new life. A South Carolina contractor just landed a $10 million deal to turn the former 10-story AT&T building into apartments. Developer Pace Bird, who bought the building in 2020, plans about 120 units and may use the windowless second floor for storage. Byrd is also behind the redevelopment of the old VA hospital in Soma into the Flats. Work is moving forward to transform the vacant tower into homes for downtown residents.
Time now, just about 7:10. How about some good news this morning? UAMS Head Start centers are reopening after temporary closing at the end of October because of the government shutdown.
Federal funding is back in place, which means children and families can return to the classroom and resume full services.
The executive director says most of the same staff and kids are back, but there are a few openings available due to some departures.
We are full steam ahead, and for the few children that we're able to get into other programs, that means that we'll probably have a few spots open. And so we are still taking applications. We're reviewing the applications that we got even during the shutdown. And so we are still taking kids, especially in the 3 to 5 year programs.
The program serves more than 400 children. Families can apply online at headstart.uams.edu. Now let's check in with Ashley King and look at the roads and the traffic this morning. Ashley, it's picking up.
It sure is, yes. We have quite a bit of vehicles on the road right now, so not looking too bad if you're coming in right now from Interstate 30. This is actually looking at around Sykes Boulevard on Interstate 30 into downtown Little Rock, so not bad right now. Of course, it is the 7 o'clock hour, so we're going to start to see more traffic on our roads this morning, more volume, plus that patchy fog could be interacting with your drive-in this morning. Right now, no accidents to talk about, just those typical slowdowns that you see at the North Terminal Interchange and also the South Terminal Interchange and 30 eastbound. But Tracy, that patchy fog causing a little bit of an issue with people coming in this morning.
It is, yeah, and our patchy fog here in Central Arkansas is down to about 2 miles. We are continuing to see that as we're heading into the next couple of hours, but I want to talk temperatures right now. Today's high is 56. We are looking maybe at some AM fog again, sunny and breezy, but starting to see a few areas that are going to get close to 60s now as we're looking to those afternoons ahead. Check out this 11-day outlook. We are looking at some very warm temperatures above average for the next couple of days. A cold front's coming through, and that's going to drop those temperatures again before we start to level out as we're heading into the lower to mid 50s. Now, the mornings are going to be where you really feel that big change. The average is 34. We are looking at again today, not too bad. Tomorrow waking up around 43. Now, Thursday morning getting a little cooler, and then we're going to start to see things really start to sink as we're heading into the weekend, and then we're going to head back into those mid 30s again. So a little bit of a temperature roller coaster as we are watching the next little bit, as we're heading a little bit closer to Christmas. Looks like we're going to be a bit above average. Now, above average means a couple of degrees above in those mid 50s or so, and so, you know, not looking at a white Christmas, that's for sure. And then as far as any precipitation goes, yeah, definitely below average is what we are seeing, and that will be the case as we're heading again from around December 17th into the 23rd. So overall, not a lot to talk about, but this week when we're talking about that 7-day forecast, continuing to see a really nice couple of days. We just got to get through that fog this morning, and again, those clouds will move out as well, and then we're going to see some warmer temperatures for the next few days before we start to see that cold front and maybe a chance of rain pushing in for the weekend.